Night in 1916, Felix Yusupov was more nervous than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. He was getting ready to host a dinner guest, and if his plans went smoothly, that guest would be pushing up daisies by dawn. But here's the kicker. 4 other men had already taken a crack at killing this guy and failed. Who is this man? He was known as the Mad Monk. You see, Yusupov and his posh pals, this so-called holy man they invited over for dinner, was like the Grim Reaper himself, the bogeyman, haunting their dreams of a stable Russian monarchy. But who was Rasputin, and how in the world could one Mad Monk be blamed for the entire empire crumbling? Grigori Yefimovich Rasputin wasn't your average Joe or average Vladimir in this case. Born in 1869 in the boonies of Siberia to a peasant family, Rasputin could have just faded into obscurity like yesterday's news. But nah, he had bigger plans. After jumping on the Russian Orthodox bandwagon in the 1890s, Rasputin set off on a pilgrimage spree across Russia, channeling his inner monk vibes. Now, here's where it gets wild. People were totally captivated by Rasputin's aura. Some even thought he had superpowers, you know, like predicting the future and performing healing miracles. But here's the kicker. Rasputin wasn't exactly your typical choir boy. He was known for drinking excessively, and he swiped right on a lot of women, if you know what I mean. Despite his sketchy behavior, Rasputin's rep as a holy man spread like wildfire, attracting both regular Vladimirs and big-shot clergymen. Fast forward to St. Petersburg, where Rasputin slithered his way into the good graces of the imperial family's spiritual advisor. Next thing you know, he's snoozing with the Tsar himself, Nicholas II, and his Mrs. Alexandra, who were suckers for anything mystical. Here's the picture. Russia's in turmoil, and the royal fam's got their own drama to deal with. Their kid, Alexei, heir to the throne, is battling a nasty blood disease. Cue Rasputin, swooping in with his mystical mumbo-jumbo, telling them to ditch the doctors and trust in his hocus-pocus. Lo and behold, the kid starts feeling better, and the royal fam's like, holy smokes, this Rasputin guy's the real deal. But here's the punchline. Turns out the doctors had prescribed aspirin, a total no-no for Alexei's condition. After that little miracle, Rasputin drops a bombshell prophecy. If he kicks the bucket or the royals give him the boot, their crown and son are toast. Talk about laying on the guilt trip. What is this guy, a prosperity preacher? Now, outside the royal bubble, opinions on Rasputin were as mixed as a bag of assorted nuts. Peasants thought he was their ticket to getting a word in with the big shots, while the fancy nobles and clergy types were convinced he was nothing but trouble, corrupting the royal fam with his scandalous shenanigans. Come World War I, and these highfalutin folks are convinced Rasputin's gotta go. So, Yusupov hatches a plan straight out of a spy novel. Poison the dude at dinner. But plot twist. One of his buddies chickens out and swaps the cyanide for something harmless. Rasputin scarfs down the pastries like it's his last meal on Earth and shrugs off the poison like it's a mosquito bite. Yusupov's like, well, that escalated quickly, and shoots Rasputin point blank. But Rasputin's made of sterner stuff. He clocks Yusupov, makes a run for it, and the chase is on. Long story short, they catch up to Rasputin, pump him full of lead, and chuck his body in the river. But here's the kicker. Instead of calming the masses, Rasputin's demise sends him into a rage. Just like he predicted, the royal fam bites the dust not long after. So was Rasputin's curse to blame for the monarchy's downfall? Or was it just a case of bad karma catching up with him? Guess we'll never know for sure. But one thing's for certain. Rasputin's story is proof that truth is stranger than fiction, especially when it involves a wild-eyed mystic in a doomed empire.